All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Tuesday night edition of the Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast. I know we started at a later time. That was on me. I got caught up, whatever. So we didn't start at 7. We're not just not started. But I appreciate Uncle Ryano being patient with your boy and stuff like that. I reached out to him, let him know what's going on. I believe in communicating because communicating is very important, especially when it comes to people's time. When people take time out their schedules to be on your platform, whatever the case may be, I always value their time, but I also let them know what's going on. I know things can happen, right? So I always let someone know what's going on ahead of time. That shows how consistent you are. It shows how responsible you are and reliable that you are. But as we're tuning in, I thank everybody. Of course, I am your host, Furman Jackson Jr., broadcast out of the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas metropolitan area. I'm very honored, I'm very excited, very privileged to have a gifted musician. I'm a fan of his music. Big shout out to Cynthia, who set this all up. I listen to your music, Uncle Ryano. I'm a fan of it. I like it. You got some swag to it, and that's what it's all about. But further ado, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. So Uncle Ryano, thank you, sir, for taking time in your blood sketch. Go ahead and let the audience know who you are, what you're all about. And we're going to dialogue, talk about the music business, the things you got going on, and all of the good stuff.
Well, my name is Uncle Ryano. I am the uncle that shows up when stuff gets real. I'm not always the one that your mama wants you to hang out with because I'm a bad influence, but I always show up when you need me the most. As far as the music goes, for 30 years, I broke out in the beginning in the country format, which is really where my heart is. That's where I started. Those are my roots. I think everybody's got country roots. I don't care who you are, where you are. Somebody got a grandma with collard greens and snap peas going somewhere. So that's just how it is. I think everybody's got country in the wood pile, whether they want to admit it or not. So that's where I started. That's where I came from. I had major record deals in the 90s. The machine is broken. We were number 4 on ad date on the radio stations picking us up, and my label still went down. They went down because they'd misappropriated funds. So I'm turning around looking at my video that's a hot shot on CMT for 10 weeks, and I don't even have a record label anymore. It shut the doors, right? So went through a few record deals like that. Every one of them had something like that. I pushed away, went back to what I do, what you do. We're creators. And so I just started creating and started getting placements in Grey's Anatomy, music placed, keeping up with the Kardashians. And I had NCIS. There was a whole bunch of stuff got picked up. And that's great movie cuts and everything. But when an old rodeo song that I did got picked up, the PRCA Cowboy Up. That was a soundtrack for PRCA, which stands for Pro Rodeo Cowboy Association. And I had a song on there with it was Toby Keith was on there, Johnny Cash was on there, Willie Nelson was on there. And for me, it was the people who musically built me. And I got to be on the same album with them, so you know how humbling that was. And somebody gave me a shot, see? And so I got to stand next to the kings, and they're the most humble, beautiful people you ever saw. They don't go around trying to look big, and they don't wear a crown. You know what they are when they walk in the room. And they don't expect everyone else to kneel. They're the first ones to do it because they're getting ready to lift everybody up around them. And that segues back around to why I came back from retirement, because that's what I've been doing with all these artists that I meet, and these independent artists that are out there swimming against the current, getting beat on, getting snatched up and treated this way or that way. I'm coming in, and whatever light hits me, I'm using it to put on all these men and women who are amazing.
And that's what's up. And we know that music plays a role in our culture. We know music's been around for centuries, and we know everybody has different type of music they listen to, pop, rock, country, you name it. But we know that music always set the tone, whether you be in height, where you just going through some things. For some people, it's therapeutic. Some they just like to work out to, motivate to it. But what keeps you relevant? I know you've been in the industry for a very, very long time, and I know that the sounds has changed, the things have changed. But how do you stay relevant after all these years in the music business?
The truth never changes. So if you just pay attention to what's really going on around you, what real makes people laugh, what really makes people think, as long as you got real on the front of that, I think you always stay relevant. Like one of my old mentors, Harlan Howard, who had over 1,000 cuts. He wrote Patsy Cline songs all the way up to Darius Rucker. And Harlan said he called it three chords and the truth. As long as you stick with that, all new growth comes from the roots. The top of the tree will die, but anytime, and that's seasonal. That's you have spring, fall, summer, winter. That's the way hip hop's going through it now. Hip hop's in a downward spiral right now. Country's on an upswing. Country was downwards. Once things get hot again, then everybody jumps on board and it becomes a parody or a joke of what made it cool in the beginning, because people don't understand why it was cool in the beginning. They just jumped on to be a part of something. And when that happens, it begins to get top heavy and it falls over. And where does the new growth always come from? The roots.
You're right. And we know that back in the day, a lot of people looking for being signed to labels. And I know we're in the era of social media where everybody doing more independent stuff. They can upload their stuff on YouTube, so there's SoundCloud, Apple, things like that. But what is your views on that? Going independent, because I know a lot of artists are pursuing more of the independent route compared to just looking for a label.
Well, I'll tell you, back in 2003, when I was coming off of a high where I didn't have a machine in between me and the people, when I went up to Boston, that was the most human, incredible. Movies aren't that cool. Okay, I'm talking about, bro, it'll make you ugly cry. I'm just telling you, it was that moving. I'll set the stage. My mother had stage 4 cancer. Okay. The one that taught me to dream, my first best friend. Okay. She'd been through everything with me with the labels, watching it. We were very close. And basically, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't save her. I couldn't help her. I couldn't do anything. I'm built to save and protect people. I couldn't do anything for my mother other than try to make her laugh. And so I, I basically, when I was just writing, and then all that organically happened with the Boston Red Sox, they had adopted my song "Cowboy Up" as their rally cry. And I thought that was super awesome. That was a big compliment and an honor, and I was so grateful. But they had asked me to play, and I said, no, I'm not playing out. I'm just holed up right now. I'm focused on some stuff at home. And it happened to be, it was on Thursday. The night before had been Song of the Year awards, and I was nominated. Lisa Brokop had sung. We had a song together, and she was nominated for a SOCAN Song of the Year. That's Canada. And I was talking. That was on Wednesday night. I was talking to my stepdad on Thursday. He said, "Have you thought about going to Canada, on up to Boston?" I said, "No." I said, "We got bigger stuff going on. I'm not gonna fool with that right now." And he said, "Well, look," he said, I just want to tell you something. He said, last night your mom came home from chemo, right? She took a bath. She got in her pajamas. She got a little stocking hat. She got over there with a cup of coffee, and she sat right in front of that TV like a little kid, and she was bouncing her feet on the couch just like a little kid, excited. He said, and that CMT came on, and your name came across the screen, and that girl came out singing your song, and all those people in the crowd were singing along with her. And he said, for 50 minutes, your mama wasn't sick. For 50 minutes, she was glowing. I said, so what are you trying to tell me? He said, how many more chances we gonna get to make your mama smile? He said, if it was me, I'd be taking my ass to Boston. And I said, okay, all right. So as soon as I hung up with him, and then all this has a point. As soon as I hung up with him, I got on the phone, called Boston. I said, I'm in. Forget the money. No money. I don't need anything. This is a huge honor. But I do need 4 plane tickets. And they took care of everything. They flew up my mom and my stepdad. My mama sat right behind home plate. But the big thing, before we even got there, the pilot got on the plane, told everybody to look out the port side, the left side of the plane. It was at night when we were coming in. He told everybody to look out the left side of the plane. He had taken an extra lap, and we looked out there, and all the skyscrapers in downtown Boston had the office lights turned on, spelling "Cowboy Up" down the side of the skyscraper. And my mom got to see that. Then the next thing my mom got to see, she's sitting behind home plate, and next to her is Linda Ruth Tercetti, Babe Ruth's great granddaughter, sitting next to her holding my mama's hand when I walked out in front of 55,000 of my closest friends with that guitar hanging on my back. Just me and a guitar, just 3 chords and the truth. And I ripped into it, and they had me on the jumbotron, and the whole place got quiet through the first verse. But the minute that I hit that chorus, it sounded like they sound like people in the parking lot out there was singing with us. And my mom got to see it. So that reconnected me with people to people like me and you right now. We didn't have all this before where we could just reach over and connect, right?
Right.
And so we did all that, and I was so charged up when I left Boston. I'd had something. I said if I was ever going to really go for it again, I had a band name, and it was going to be a little bit of good and a little bit of bad, and it was going to be everybody. And the name was Abel, Abel, and the last name was Kane, Kane, because you are Abel Kane, and I'm Abel Kane. And when that was the title track to our first album was called Abel Kane. When somebody asks you what your name is, you say Abel Kane, because that was all of it. That's what it was about. It wasn't about my face anymore. It was about you. And I had 2 amazingly talented, phenomenal people who stepped forward to help me. James Perrineau, who had been with Stevie Nicks, he came over. And then Pete Iannacone, who was the band leader for Shakira Josh Stone, and Barry White. And he came over on bass. And the three of us just made a six-legged monster. And we all the lyric was about outside the city limits, but all the grooves were as heavy metal and hip hop as it ever was. I mean, Godsmack kind of stuff,
Mm,
Slipknot kind of stuff. But all the lyric was from outside the city limits. So we didn't call it country rock. We called it rock from outside the city limits. And and we blew everybody's mind. They didn't know what to think of us. They'd come to shows. You see, every time we played local in Nashville, it would be packed with celebrities in the crowd checking us out. And we got scooped up. We played Sturgis. We got opening slots where we would be the permanent opening act in these big places like the Arizona State Fair that would have 29 concerts. They would just run all new headliners behind us like Fuel, Shinedown, Daughtry, Big and Rich, Gretchen Wilson, Kid Rock, and around we'd go. And we were really killing it with all that. And then there's that old saying that when you stand your tallest, that's when the devil comes for you.
hmm
Well, I had reached that point in my life. Many of the viewers may not know it. The ones who are a little longer in the tooth know what I'm talking about. Uh, when we're in our 20s and when we're younger than that, if we're lucky, life gives us beautiful things periodically. But you
Right.
start get to that age where life starts taking them away. And I started losing all the old ones who were the architects of me.
Mm,
They built, and they were just my reality. There was no reality without them. Started losing them, and then it started getting harder and harder. The math with older ones, you can, even though it's devastating, you can understand the math. And then it came from my baby brother who was 23 in a car wreck when we just gotten back from the Arizona State Fair and working with Kid and Fuel and all those guys. And that really kind of shook me and it started it. And then my wife lost a set of twins. Uh, we had it was really significant. That was huge. That like killed us. And then right behind that, we lost my mother, and we lost my wife's youngest sister the day we buried my mother.
mm,
So all that was in a real tight window. And I had actually sat down with my old guitar and on a cedar chest in Bossier City, Louisiana. And I sang to my mother every song I could remember because she always loved for me to play. She was laying in a hospice bed, and I sang her to sleep. And she left at 4:40 in the morning. And after they came and took my mother's body, and I'm there with my wife in the aftermath. If you've ever been through something like that, you know that your spirit's put to the test, your body's put to the test, your sanity's put to the test, and you think that's the pinnacle, but when everything happens, it's just totally quiet, and that's really devastating. The silence is devastating, and I looked over at that guitar in that guitar case, and I told my wife, "I'm done." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "With everything." What do you mean? I said, "I'll never top my last show. I'm done. I'm out. Nobody, but I had an audience of one, but nobody will ever top that last show." And I shut the guitar up, and that was it. For 15 years, I disappeared. RyanReynolds.com was sold to the actor. So when people would look me up, they'd find him, and his career was really taking off. So it was real easy for me to disappear. And I lived just like regular Joe, no show business. I don't even know if we listened to the radio. Uh, we were just regular Joe six pack household. I got back in the oil field. I reconnected with who I used to be before I was the music guy. And I kept working to prove that I could be more important than that guy was to people around me and everything that I was doing. And my daughter came into our life in 2010. We adopted my incredible, amazing daughter, who's our gift from heaven. So we had lost so much life, and then incredible, powerful life came back into our family, and we were a living, healthy family again, and a happy family. And that's pretty much where we stayed. And had several people reach out to me periodically, wanting me to get back in it. My daughter would ask me to get back in it or make music, as she would say, and I would tell her, "You're my greatest project of my life." That's what I'd tell her. And in 2022, Billy Ray Cyrus reached out to me about one of my old songs. Me and him started working on some stuff, listening to some stuff. We accidentally wrote "Twerking with a Twang." It started out as a goofy replacement line for a song. And we decided it's a damn song all by itself. So pretty much, I talked with my wife and daughter about it. They had pushed at me for 4 years. I said no for 4 years. Billy Ray had pushed at me for 8 months. I said no for 8 months. And then finally, I looked at my wife and daughter and I said, if we do it, we're doing it together. If we do it, we're going to do it together. We're going to do it on our terms, at our pace. We're going to come back, but we're going to give them, all of us. We're going to give them everything we've got to give them. And I came out first 90 days. I real quietly dropped 2 12-song albums. Didn't tell nobody. Turned right around, started dropping music videos. I never had social media, bro.
Oh, really?
No, I had a little LinkedIn thing, but my wife and daughter, my daughter, at the time she was 12, then turned 13. She was my Obi-Wan Kenobi for YouTube. She came in and put all that together for me, and
Okay.
if it wasn't for my kid, I'd still be trying to find the on switch on that thing. But we got it all set up. We at 35,000 and something on Instagram now, and
Man,
10,000
awesome.
on TikTok, and I'm able to connect directly to people. And as soon as I came back, every wrong turn takes you where you're supposed to be. So as soon as I came back, hard part's learning how to be quiet and be still, and you'll see why you're there, right?
Right.
And so as soon as I came out, when I did, the music that I was doing 15, 16 years before, 20 years ago, is just now starting to bubble up and happen right now. So I stepped away and I stepped back into my old office. That's what happened. And I'm older and uglier, but now I don't have to work as hard trying to explain to everybody what the hell it is we're trying to do. Right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so also with Abel Kane, we did the independent thing when you didn't have all these tools. You didn't have all these bells and whistles that go right into somebody's pocket. Back then we had to hustle, right?
Yeah.
We trying to get the word out, old school, right?
That's it. Yeah. On the feet in that pavement.
Dude, yeah, I know. And now it's so easy. If you want to have a mailing list or something, you can. I don't even know how to put all those together, but if when you have all those put together, you can just put out a blast and you can talk to 50,000 people right then. You just got word out of something,
That's
right?
true. Right.
It's amazing. And so with the tech getting cheaper, where we don't have to drive and burn so much diesel getting to the studio, with being able to just everything you can do on your phone, everything else. And I met I started getting in touch with these phenomenal um, organizations that are trying to lift up and cultivate independent artists, and that resonates with me. That's if you don't make it better, what's the point of getting involved with anything in the first place?
Right.
You know. And so I ended up writing with Malik Youssef. He and I wrote a couple of great songs, and he flew me and my wife out to the Grammys uh, this last uh, this last February, and
Okay.
I was hanging out with Little Wayne's producer and kicking it with Zay Wilson and of course Malik Nova Bless Silent Sounds, and he's got an incredible organization called the Bad Kids Class, and they teach a bunch of young artists and writers and producers the craft, and
Okay.
work with them regular. And so I got involved with that, and then on Springboard, that's a whole nother organization, very much the same, where you are cultivating, the stars of tomorrow.
Man, and that's what it's all about. And I just love the work, Uncle Rhino, the passion, especially with people that doing so they know that they purpose to do. And we know that God gave everybody a gift. And I know the gift is not for us to sit on. The gift is for the people, it's for those who we come in contact with, is to be a blessing to them, is to impact them and not impact ourselves. But I know the gift that God's given us is for those who we come in contact with.
I heard it said back when I was a kid, they said every time somebody got picked to be an example in the book, it always had to be somebody who fell down, because only
Right.
people who fall down can teach other people how to get up.
True.
And what every time that an angel would talk to somebody, they'd say, "You go, you go." 2/3 of the letters in God is go. It ain't sat. That's somebody else, right? You got
Right.
to stay on. You got to stay on the move. Movement is life. Once you know
True.
your purpose, you don't always know how you're applying it. You just trust in the plan, and the plan ain't mine.
That's it. That's it. And that's so true on that. And I'm gonna ask you this, Rhino, Uncle Rhino. Where did that originated from? Of all the names you could have chose, why go Uncle Rhino?
When I was a kid, all my cousins in East Texas and my aunties, they all called me Rhino,
Okay.
and and so it kind of caught in a really tight group of people. They knew me by that, and they'd still use that. Then as I got older, and my wife and I were married. My sister-in-law had her two kids that are amazing. I love them very much, Caitlin and Alex. And I started to have my nephew Barrett, and I've got all these other kids in my life now. My brother Cody's two amazing, beautiful daughters, Archer and Noble, and pretty much when we were talking about how I wanted the brand coming out, we were talking about it on the phone, and I happened to be standing right in my dining room, and I was standing right in front of one of those collages of pictures from a beach vacation where I had taken Caitlin and Alex fishing in the ocean for the first time in their life. They'd never seen the ocean, which meant basically I spent the whole damn vacation untangling fishing line. But I was standing up there doing that, and I was looking at all those pictures while we were trying to talk about a name, and I said, how about Uncle Rhino? And everybody got real quiet on the phone, and I know they probably thinking, okay, now what? Okay, What's the real one you want to go with? And I said, I think that's about as real as it gets, y'all. It goes back to what we were saying when we started the conversation.
That's it. But before we go any further, Uncle Rhino, I'm play the video you had sent me last week for those that's going to listen to it for the first time. So we'll be right back after this quick break. And we're back here on the Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Of course, that's your boy Uncle Ryano in the building with me. That's the name of the song, Running Wide Open. Great track, great song. I love it. I enjoyed it. That feel. Matter of fact, Uncle Ryano, what was the location at for that video?
We shot that in the historic Strand Theater in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Man, like I said, great video. Awesome concept. It just, when I hear it, it's just the freedom. When I listen to that, the freedom, running wide open. You know, the Bible says the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. And we know that God wants us to be free. You know, the scripture lets us know whom the Son set free is free indeed. And I know He wants us to be free. And a lot of times people are bound down, Uncle Rhino. And I'm not talking about in a physical capacity, but we know people bound down in shackles in a mental capacity. And I just listen to that. It's that running wide open, you know, being free. I know a lot of times people be so bound down by so much stuff. What advice you give someone who wants to be free, want to run wide open, where they can just be free and just let their wings just fly?
The only bars that hold you back, you've built yourself. The only chains that hold you down, you've shackled yourself. There is no safe. My favorite fruit in the world off of any tree is a peach. I love a big old honking. I grew up with an orchard in the country, and I would eat those till I was sick. But all the peaches that I ever ate, I never found one growing on a trunk. If I found one and wanted one, I had to go out on a limb to get it. So there's no difference. Anything that's worth having, you got to roll the dice, but it's okay. If you miss, jump back up as soon as you hit the ground, find your feet, and go at it again, because not trying is the only way you fail. You'll be unsuccessful. That's not the same as failing. Being unsuccessful means I didn't get it this time. I'm going to get it on the next one. Or guess what? On the next one. Till I get tired. Nobody else gets to pick my starting line or my finish line. I pick it all. Okay. And I also run on my clock, and my clock happens to be wide open. But I think everybody's is. They don't need to be afraid. Don't be afraid of what other people think. If you have to water yourself down to be around other folks, they're the wrong folks. You were made the way you are, and you were made perfect the way you are, and you were made with a purpose by the only perfect hands. And nobody has any grounds to stand up and be critical of that. It's like a train is coming and you are the train. Everybody in the world around you's got two choices: step aside or hitch your ride. But you are rolling. And that's it. You were born to be epic. You were not born to settle. That is a lie by the one who makes all the lies, to be less than you were born to be. You were born to be epic. Every time you settle, every time you're afraid, there's why be afraid. I never met anybody when they were fixing to leave this world that looked at me and said, I wish I'd taken less chance. Nobody I ever met said, I wish I had danced less. I wish I had laughed softer. I wish I had loved less. None of them ever say that. When we leave, and that's not our time, it's already picked. But when we go, make sure everybody around you felt loved.
That's
Everybody
it.
around you felt like a one of a kind masterpiece that they are. They ain't no other but them. And make sure they know you know it. It's not enough to think about people. You get on the phone and say, "Hey, I'm calling you. Sorry to bother you, but I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you and I love you. Okay, bye." I mean,
That's
if
it.
that's all it takes, they're gonna think you nuts, and then they're gonna laugh because they know somebody loves them. That's
That's
it.
it. And
Hmm.
that's it. And that's all. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Cynthia Anderson in the comment section. Big shout out to her. She's sharing it everywhere. So big shout out to her. Matter of fact, Cynthia once set this all up with Uncle Ryano. Big shout out to Texas Brew Radio as well. So man, y'all make sure y'all check out Texas Brew Radio. Go ahead and follow them on Facebook, on all social media platforms. Cynthia, if you still in the comment section, which I know you still in the comment section, go ahead and plug in the information where everybody can follow Texas Brew Radio while you're in the comment section. Also, man, y'all make sure y'all follow Uncle Ryano as well on all social media platforms. Great stuff. I'm a fan now, a fan of his music. Just that country swag. You know what I'm saying? Uncle, where we get all your swag from? You just so cool. Just that cool uncle you just go talk to. You just sit down, listen to the story you tell you. So you got all that swag from.
You talking about the merch, or you talking about what I roll in?
I'm talking what you rolling with your swag. You one of them uncles that you just sit and talk to all day. You just sit and listen to all day.
Yeah, so I'm a suit guy. I think there was another reason I came back too, because I see a lot of men that forgot what it was like to celebrate being a man and
Yeah.
celebrate being a king. And we don't walk anywhere, we strut. Okay. I just had that talk with Cynthia earlier today. Okay. We aren't born to walk. We are born to strut. And those who aren't down with it, they're going to be running one way or the other. Okay. That's how
That's
that
it.
works. My grandfather was my king. He was from the 1940s. He came up in the Great Depression when men had honor and integrity, and their word was just law. It is what it is. It doesn't change when it's not convenient. Uh, and I adopted the suits that my grandfather was fond of, and he wore many from his era with the old pinstriping popping. Uh, I grew up wearing cowboy hats and silver belly resistors, but nowadays this kind of halo fits me a little bit better. And so that's how I roll with these. And I will tell you, um, I feel like it's a good time to reintroduce men taking pride in their appearance as well as women too, because
Amen.
everybody they quit respecting how they present themselves. They quit respecting themselves. And I've been looking at too many men with man buns and boy yoga pants, and they wasn't no way I'm gonna roll out in anything but a 3-piece suit, not because I'm a peacock, but because I value the people who come to see me that much that I want to present well, and I want to dress as respectful as I can because I honor anyone who chooses to share a piece of the only life they'll ever live with me.
And that's what's up. You know, we gotta bring back manhood. I mean, bring back real manhood. Cause it has been lost in this generation where we see more individual guys being more feminine. You see more of that on social media now. Is that they complain about women now? Is the women fault? They come with all these goofy terminologies. Well, a man was a man. A man was a man. He handled his bit like you said, with your grandfather, honor, integrity, and we lost all that. But I know we have to bring all that back for the younger guys. A lot of young guys don't see the honor. They don't see the integrity, no more like they used to.
A true alpha male doesn't dominate somebody and make them fall down on their back. That's not what an alpha is. That's just one guy who's tougher than the few people right in front of him. But there's always somebody tougher. There's always somebody bigger and meaner. A true alpha is somebody who, like I said earlier, will get down on one knee in front of everyone around them because they're preparing to lift them all up above them. That's what an alpha does. That's a true bull. That's a true king. And that's what men, that was the standard that was commonly understood for thousands of years, that was expected as the head of a community, a head of a house, a head of a neighborhood. You looked after everyone who wasn't able to look after themselves. And
Hmm.
somewhere along the lines, I know that the families were attacked. The black community, it really started there to me. When I look at where the crack started, they were under full assault. The power of a black family was straight up assaulted. They made it through slavery, bondage, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, and black marriage was strong. It stayed strong, and kids knew who the king was and who the queen was. Boys knew how to treat a woman by watching their dad. Girls knew how their standard needed to be set by watching their dad, how he held their mom. That's how we taught them. And somewhere around 1970, some folks threw a bunch of money around. Men got kicked out of the house, and it takes a king to make another king.
Man, I
There,
agree.
there are there are some exceptions to the rule. Now, I've seen some incredible women that defied all the odds, and they are true queens. They are incredible, amazing women. But I will tell you, until we get back to pulling ourselves together, and I work everything that I want for your kids. Okay. And I want you to want the same thing for my kids. If we
Amen.
working for each other's kids, then that's a community. Okay. We are working together. And that's one of the scariest things to the folks whose power totally relies on us not even talking, much less working together.
Man, that's what's up. I love it. I really do. Oh yeah. Also, I know you had a merchandise as well. Man, if I'm gonna have to cop me some merch, I'm really gonna have to cop some merch from you. Where can we go to, get merchandise that you have on display?
If you swing over to UncleRyano.com, RYANO, UncleRyano.com, check out the store. We've got some phenomenal hockey jerseys in there that we just rolled out. They're
Okay.
really hot. They're doing really good right now with cold weather coming in. We
Oh
got
yeah.
some really cool basketball jerseys also. I love those. And on the back where the name goes, on the
Mhm.
back it has Rockstar on all of them,
Okay.
and where the number is on the jersey is my birth year, 1971.
Hmm.
So yeah, if it's my number, it's your number. We're tribe.
Man, awesome, man. So yeah, I go ahead, get over there, drop some merch. I like the t-shirt. I'm feeling the t-shirts as well. So I'm gonna have to give me some merch from you. All about supporting. That's what it's all about. Matter of fact, Cynthia put in the comment section. So you right now, go over there right now. Check out the website. Check out the store. Cynthia said, "Soft, comfort, great quality." So y'all go ahead and cop some merch. Support, support, support. That's what it's all about. As well. We know it's election time going on. That's so I'm watching that too. And I see Trump is up right now in the election. So I know some people don't like that, some people do, but we know that the election's going on right now. So I learned a lot about this election too, Uncle Rhino. But I look at this and people don't understand that you have to look at the content of a person, of the character. Don't be basing everything off. People base things off skin. Cause I love when Martin Luther King said they should not judge a person by their color, their skin, by the content of their character. Would you want to time in on that, Uncle Rhino?
Yeah, he nailed it. And you made me drag this thing out. That Martin Luther King actually should have been a co-writer on this song because I was listening to him and I had this line that he said that always stuck with me. He number one, yes, what you just said. You judge a man on the content of his character, not by the color of his skin. And any kind of hate against anybody, you can't get rid of cancer unless you get it out of all the body. And part of the problem that we've had is that cancer keeps moving around from one line to another. It keeps crossing and having an excuse. People look the other way and allow it to exist because they're the same color or they're the same political group or they're the same this or that. No, right and wrong never changes. I don't care if it's convenient or not. Remove yourself and let them know how they look from the outside looking in because some people just may not even realize it. At the end of the day, salt water and fresh water don't come out of the same fountain. You can't you can't be preaching peace and love and victimhood if the oppressed become the oppressor. It works both ways. This song I wrote with Malik Youssef. It's called "Change It."
Okay.
I'll give you I'll give you just a verse and chorus, but it's all the time I look down someone when I pick them up. Everybody falls and everybody will get stuck. Each one of us holds power trapped deep inside. Let the thunder roll, 'cause we control this life and we ride. I believe we are living in a master plan. Time to see all of the children of the rough hill. Why do we wait for others to step up and take the lead to rearrange it? You say you want a better world. Be the one to help the change. You get the idea. That's MLK right there, baby. He started it, and we're all just receivers, those of us who are creatives. So his ripple is still going. Not every ripple becomes a tsunami, but every tsunami starts with a ripple. And he went in there and made some, and it's up to us to keep the water moving.
That's it.
Uh, we don't, you can't let politics, and I don't. I want you to vote your honest conscience. I want you to vote your heart from your perspective, and we can disagree, and we are still friends. We don't shout each other down. We don't ostracize or demonize each other because we have different opinions. The truth is not afraid of a question. Only a lie is. And when
That's
you
it.
sit down and you try to have a discussion with somebody and they wall up and they go, "Well, I can't talk to you," they got a mental disorder. Okay. We have two eyes, two ears, one mouth. That's proof of intelligent design right there.
Right.
And those people who try to shout you down got something wrong with them.
That's it. Because the Bible said, "Be quick to hear and slow to speak." A lot of people so quick to speak and slow to hear. It said, "Be quick to hear, slow to speak," and that's so important. And Cynthia said, "We need a business person to run the business of our country." Period. So big shout out to Cynthia in the comment section. That's what it's all about. Also, Uncle Ryan, what else do you got coming? I know you got the merchandise and music, but what else you got going on? We know this year is almost over with. We are already in November, December coming up next. So, what do you got planned for the last 2 months going into year 2025?
Well, we're getting ready to start taking bookings for 2025. I'm going to start rolling out and doing more dates. Cynthia has the Texas State Songwriting Championship that's busting off on December 21st. She's got that down at Pearl Saloon in the Fort Worth Stockyards. It's going to be a big blowout. It's the 10-year anniversary. I'm bringing my band down from Nashville, and we are going to come down and rock the house at high midnight. We're going to go on old school and rock it. And that's going to be a blast. I'm going to make an appearance at the Texas Country Music Awards. That's coming up. I believe you can check with Cynthia, but I think it's next weekend.
Okay.
So we'll be rolling out to that, and I'll be there. We've got like I said, the big blowout on December 21st at the Fort Worth Stockyards, and then simultaneously I've got two more albums in the works right now. Pretty phenomenal stuff. The two songs that I did with Malik Youssef, who's got his album out right now. He just recently released it, so a big shout out to Malik
Big shout out to
and
him.
congrats on that. He's also has his Vultures project. It's all with Kanye and all those guys. They put that out. That's been doing phenomenal. And Billy Ray Cyrus and I looks like we're working on doing a duet on a
Okay.
song I've got called Cash Money. So we got a lot of fun stuff happening. We're working hard for y'all. Hard for you.
Hey,
So
we need.
hard for you.
Hey, but we need it though. We need it. We need it. We need it. We need it uplifting. We need that positive. We need it. We need it where we working out in the gym, where we in our car, whether we at home. We need that good vibe and music all everywhere. Whether you at the workplace, whatever. We need that vibe going, that positive vibe going on as well. Also,
I got one. I was really proud. We didn't do any promotion on anything until 5 days ago. We just started through Digital Radio Tracker.
mm-hmm.
So Michael Matthews, big shout out to him. And we have a single out right now for the holidays. And I don't know if you have seen this or not. The turkey fought back. Have you seen this yet?
Uh, and at the thing, did you see me that one? No, you
It's
did.
a it's a cartoon. It's
Yeah, you did.
hilarious.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did. You did. I remember that you sent it to me last week.
yeah. We're rolling that one right now. In the global 200 chart, we were 176 last week, and that's mainstream. That's with we got Taylor Swift on the chart with me, Jelly Roll, Morgan Wallen, Coldplay. I mean everybody. And um, I was blown away. We jumped from 176 to 131 this week in the global top 200, and then on the indie chart, we're I think it's a top 100. We were at 31, no 28. We're at 28 on the top 100 chart, and that's for indie for the indie bands. And so that's our very first thing that we rolled out with, me coming out of retirement. And like I said, I got the two albums we'll be working with on radio after the holiday season. But we got two whole new albums about to drop right behind them. So I don't know what we're gonna do.
Hey, what they said, running wide open. You just gonna keep running wide open, right?
That's it.
Just keep running wide open. I know,
Yes,
Uncle Ryan, we better be pressing for time. We better get lead this thing. I don't want to hold you up. You're a very productive man. I know. Hey, it's all about work, 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 and making stuff happen. So, do you have any final remarks, any words of wisdom, any sign of advice you'll leave here with the audience that's watching as we live streaming from Facebook to YouTube to Twitch, all the way to Instagram?
everybody listening to this right now is a 1 in 8 billion masterpiece. Nobody else in the world gets to tell you when to start doing what you were born to do. Nobody in the world tells you when it's time to stop. You need to believe in yourself because somebody better than me or you made you. And trust in that. You were born to be epic. You were born perfect. If you forgot, I'm going to remind you. And if you're struggling believing in yourself, just remember there's an old man in Louisiana that believes in you. You got it. Go get it. You own it. Make it yours.
Hey, and that's what you need to do. Make it yours. But you know what, Uncle Ron? I don't know. I thought you was here. So you in Louisiana. Oh, I thought you was in Texas.
I'm all over the place. I was in, let's see, 4 weeks ago, I was in Houston and Austin.
Okay.
Then I was in Arkansas and Memphis. We played up on Beale Street. I worked with I mentored, we had 50 bands up there going through the Springboard Music Fest, Memphis
Mm-hmm.
festival that we and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And we did that, and then right after that, I was in Miami for a week, and
Okay.
now I'm back in Louisiana. I would like to say I'm cooling my jets, but I still this ain't my line. It was Satchel Paige. They asked Satchel Paige if he was going to warm up before the game, and he said I ain't never cooled it off.
Hey, once again, running wide open. So, hey, when they said don't be ready, don't we said don't get ready, stay ready. Don't have to get ready. Stay ready. Don't have to get ready. So always
That's
stay
it.
ready. I always
That's
stay
it.
ready. See, I mean, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all follow Uncle Rhino right now on all social media platforms. Get all the latest updates. Check out his store. Also, man, y'all get with Cynthia as well. Cynthia Anderson, great woman, awesome woman, phenomenal woman. Make sure y'all get with her. The Texas Bureau Radio as well. They Texas songwriter also. A lot of things going on. So y'all go ahead and tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. Check out, enjoy your life, have fun. And we about to get to lead this thing. So y'all have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow night along with my co-host, the Kingdom Chick herself, Nancy C. out of Miami, Florida. We got a young man coming over here out of my hometown of Mobile, but he lives in Tennessee now. D-Rock, Damon Ritchie. He's a disc jockey in Tennessee, and he's going to be in here tomorrow night talk about the stuff that he got going on, all of the great stuff. Uncle Ron, have anything you want to share?
I'm just proud to hear you from Mobile down there. I dig it.
Oh yeah, roll tide all day, every day.
See, I ain't gonna say nothing about the Tigers over here in Louisiana. I don't know that we did well enough for me to talk smack, but hopefully they'll step up and at least give me something to work with.
But you know what? Y'all had to go. Y'all had Nick Saban. No, and he ended up coming to us. So he had to go. You know what I'm saying? Nick Saban to go. I got to give it to Nick Saban. So.
And see, but right there, that's proof right there. That's how people are supposed to. If you got different opinions or different football teams or different whatever, that right there is how we're supposed to do. You know, that right there, just the way we did that, and we're better collectively if we don't all have the same opinion because we're going to miss something, and one of us is going to catch it.
Right. Oh, I love greatness. I respect greatness. You know, Nick Saban, he's great at what he does. I know he retired, but he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I respect him. So I respect greatness. So that what keeps us going. You see great figures that's always doing great things like yourself. I respect greatness and I respect what you're doing and the energy, the drive that you're putting out there. That's what I love. It's like, wow, Uncle Ryano doing it. You know, I could do it too. And that's what it's all about, utilizing your gifts, your talents. Even the Bible said you should do greater works also. Even Jesus said that we should do greater works. So why are we sitting around when he said you should do greater works also?
And as tall as I've been, all 6'5" of me, people seen me reach up high 2 times in the music business and be right up there. And they didn't realize that even at that moment, I was standing on somebody else's shoulders who gave me a place to stand. So basically, this time around, it would not be a good steward. It would not be continuing the whole process if I didn't give other people a good place to put their feet. Got one here and one here,
Right.
and that's what I'm about now. You see on my post, I put tribe, hashtag tribe. I put that on everything because alone I go faster, but together we go farther.
That's it. That's it. So man, y'all keep running wide open. That's finishes y'all strong going to year 2025. It's always work to be done. This is your time. I don't want to say time. Everybody keeps saying that, but it's long that the Most High God wake open your eye. It's always your time. So get up, get at it. Can't be lazy. You got to get up and get at it. So, like I said, we're about to lead this thing, man. Y'all have a great night, and I'll be back here tomorrow here on the Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast. Peace, everybody.
Thank you.